Hey everybody, welcome back to 3-Day Weekend. You got Chris here again today, and I'm with Floyd, which is broken again. Thank you, Brooke.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. We have a vibration in the drive line, and it's gonna be a bad universal joint in the prop shaft, which is on the way down in here. Look at it right in there. It's gonna be bad. So we're gonna change that today. We got the nose all tore apart because we were just doing some bushings, upper bushings and stuff. And rather than put it back together and have to work around it, I just left it apart. You do not have to take this apart. You're gonna sneak it out through the side and this shouldn't interfere, but I've been here before and I know that it is easier with at least this out of the way. So I didn't want to do the job twice, so I left it apart. But the main objective in this job is removing this piece, which is from the inside. There's a lot of push pins and a couple of bolts through it. So let's get this lowered down to the ground and we'll open the doors and show you what push pins we're looking for. Okay, we're going in. This is the panel, and here and here and all of this. So we're gonna take the seat out of the way. I think we take something out. Yep, there's a couple bolts right here. All the bolts in the floor, obviously. There's one there, there's one there.
Yeah.
There's one up here and one up here. But anything you see on this piece of plastic, all these pins, we're just gonna start pulling them out one at a time. We got it. And it's not easy. The way the service manual recommends is removing the entire fuel tank from the vehicle, and we're not doing that, which is why it's so difficult. We ended up taking the seat bracket out too, 13mm bolts on those, and we also took out the bolts holding this in. Just let us move that off to the side a little bit. Same with this one, gives you a little more room. And the hardest part was just getting it to clear this corner right there, but prying it, and finally it snapped right by, exposing our prop shaft and our universal joint. So the next step we have now is this roll pin, which is super awesome fun to get to. We're gonna pound that out using a punch, and then we'll be free on the front end. We'll just need to work on the back end. So to get this roll pin out, you're gonna want a very nice punch like this one that my new very awesome neighbor loaned me. And we're just gonna set it on there and give her a few whacks. Once you have that side out, or that roll pin out, you'll be able to move it back. Pull it off. And then just pull it out. Just pull it out. Easy peasy. Earlier I told you didn't have to take any of this off, and that was a lie, because if you don't take out the fuel tank, you won't have enough room to clear your half shaft. So you gotta loosen your hub enough to get your axle out, and then you'll be able to clear it. I forgot all about that. But it's still easier to do this, in my opinion, than to remove that fuel tank. So let me pop that out. At this point, since I have the upper already out, I just need to take the tie rod out. Or maybe I can turn the wheel all the way one way. And it'll be just enough to pop the axle out, pull it out the other side. Half shaft's out of the way. Now I should have enough space to pull it out. There we go.
That is.
It's been a couple weeks. We got the machine sitting up there. I got Brooke. She's got something. What do you got?
My prop shaft.
Got it back. So normally I do the universal joints myself, but this time I let a driveline shop do it, and they did a beautiful job. I'm probably never going to replace the universal joint myself again because they did so good. They even machined it, and it's nice fluid movement. Before it was really, really stiff, both sides. Looks good. $18 to replace the U-joint in a prop shaft. So I'm never gonna do it again because it's such a pain in the neck, and these yokes, when you get them in the press, they wanna move and push down and then they don't seat right. What a pain in the neck. So if you want my advice, take them to a prop shaft, well, a drivetrain specialist. So we're going to get the machine, which I put out of the way so I could still use the garage on other things, back on the lift, which is gonna be a pain because it's just sitting on blocks up there. And we only have a jack. I need to get some of those like furniture dollies or something to roll it. But we're gonna just muscle it over. Yeah, let's see how that goes. We got it. That was a pain. Definitely need some dollies for that. Now before we put this in, we're gonna grease them, because these are greasable. Universal joints, one there and one there. We'll do that one once we get it in so we don't get messy. One thing I wish that they did, this one is facing the right way toward the end, but this one is not. That's facing toward the back of the machine. And that's the universal joint that goes right here. So if it were facing forward, I could probably get to it, but since it's facing backwards, I won't be able to. But I'm not gonna have them do it again. I'm just gonna throw it on there. Oh, I forgot my rope in. So that might be a problem later for maintenance, but I don't know. Maybe we'll put it all together and we'll be able to see it. Bummer. All right, let's grease them and get going. Apparently, I'm almost out of grease. There it goes. That might have been too much. It looked like 10 pumps, but it wasn't. The gun's almost empty, so it's barely sending any in. Oh, now it's not sending any in at all. Oh. I just need one more pump and this project is done.
That one full? Oh.
Yep. It's not going in though. There it goes. Okay, that's gonna throw grease everywhere first run. Now we're gonna send it in. This side goes to the back. It's a snug fit. This is the tightest part. Once we get past this A-arm, it'll be easy. I'm gonna push the front back. You're gonna try to put that on there. Okay? All right. Oh, it's crooked. Move it around. I gotta go on it further.
Alright. You're moving. You're moving the axle.
Yeah, I know, because I can't get it. Is it on?
Yeah, now it's on the way.
There we go.
I just needed to push it up. Come here. Alright, it's on.
So with the back in position, we can slide on the front. Obviously, you've got to line these holes up with these holes. Like that. Now we're going to put the roll pin back in. Where's some PV glass right there. The nerve of these people, I'm telling you. And then we tap this back into place. Nice short taps. Like that. Now the manual is going to tell you do not reuse them, but I reuse them, and it's never come out. If it will, that's going to make a heck of a noise. There we go.
Probably ignore it.
We've got it back in position. That should drive nice and smooth. Let's check it out. It's been a little bit since I said, hey, let's test it and see what happens, because the thing didn't have any power and it wouldn't start, so we had to do a battery thing. You'll see another video on the channel on how we fix that. But we've got power back, and we should be able to put it in gear. And it should move. That's low gear. There's high. Oh, it won't go any faster because your seatbelt's not plugged in.
No.
Hand me your seatbelt.
Sorry.
Okay. Now she should rip. Seems okay.
Why don't we try it in reverse?
Oh, reverse will work. Just the same thing backwards.
Nice.
Yay, there it is. Okay, we're gonna start putting it back together now. To put it together, we're gonna start with the axle. I'm just gonna time lapse this for you. Then we'll put the upper ball joint in, line it up, hit it with a hammer. Probably put a block of wood under here to hold it up so that it'll go in a little easier. And then once that's in place, then we'll attach the shock to it. And then we should be good. Just watching that spin, look, that's just how fast it does. So a little vibration can be a really big problem because your feet sit right here. That's the brake pedal. That's the gas pedal. Really important not to have that blow apart while you're driving. All right, let's hit that time lapse, get this back together. Making good progress. You probably saw in the time lapse, snuck a new tie rod on there while I was working on it. We put that outer ring of the bearing back on. Remember earlier that kept falling off, so we put that back into place. And then once it's in there, I greased it real good with a 44mm grease tool, so that'll be nice and lubricated. So now we're just going to put our hub back on and our brakes. We're good to go. We're also going to put a new tie rod on the other side, but that doesn't have anything to do with your drive shaft. So let's get this back together. Well, we got the worst part in. Oh, almost. We got some more work to do here. We gotta get that behind the rocker panel. Yeah, watch on the time lapse. You'll see the second try we slid it in first, and then it went in a bit easier. Also, we forgot to put this piece of trim down in there first, so we had to sneak that through. It can be done, but it's not easy. I didn't give you permission to take a break. Chip, chop, chip.
Okay.
So now it's just a matter of taking your bucket full of push pins and putting a push pin in every single hole all the way around. And I don't know if yours is going to be the same as this one, but behind anything with a mud flap, it's got washers. I've had to replace these washers before because they pull out. So keep that in mind. If you're over here and you had washers, you forget where those go. They go right there. Oh yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. We'll put the nose on once we're done with the body, but I wanted to be sure we could get in there if we needed to. And then I just found that her A-arm, which is down under here,
Still bent.
is bent. It's the second one. There's the first one. She wadded it up good on a tree. Now she's bent it again. I tell you, it just never ends. Never ends. But we got fancy new tie rods on there. Of course, it doesn't help that the inner tie rod is clunking now. But we'll get her fixed up. All right, I better go help her with those push pins. There's a lot of them. We did it. It is back together. Oh, there's a push pin sitting right there. We replaced some of the push pins with new, slightly bigger push pins. But it is together. There you go. With no extra bolts. There were two bolts that were tricky to find. That one and that one. There's one in the cup holder. That one will get you. Yeah, otherwise they're all pretty much right up through here, two in the front, two right there. And that one was off the other side. That was tricky. Big long bolts go there, both sides. So the inside's together. Now we've got to put the front together. always flush your radiator as long as you got the front grill off. If it clogs up with mud and then it'll overheat. I can't believe that's not leaking. Yeah, that's pretty gross. And we did it other than the storage bin. Tires are on, we're good to go. No more loose tie rod ends and no more bad drive shaft. Wow, that only took a few weeks to do.
Only.
Yep. All right, well that's gonna do it for us today. We got some other work to do, so if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, check out our other videos. We've got a playlist with everything we've done to this machine or the other Ace, 2 Aces, so check those out.
We didn't wait.
In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate every viewer, every subscriber, and we hope to see you again right here on 3-Day Weekend.